Hey guys, I have a word to share with you. And so if you don't like encouraging words, then go ahead and scroll away. But if you need encouragement today, let today be the one video that you spend time on. And I suggest you watch it all the way to the end because I don't even know what I'm going to say. But I am going to start with the scripture as always, and it's Psalms 27:14. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. When scripture repeats itself in any certain phrases, it repeats, that's because God is trying to impress upon your heart. It's got importance. It has some meat to it. So in that verse, I have stood on this verse, oh gosh, for a good solid year. I was waiting for a situation to happen, and situations and paperwork and that kind of stuff just gets put back on a back burner a lot of times, and you're the one stuck waiting, but the person who's processing it just takes their lollygag in time. It kind of is hard. It's hard to wait. Say you're buying a house. If you've ever bought a house, you know what I'm talking about. You know you've picked out the house, you went and looked at it, it's exactly what you want, you put an offer on, the offer is accepted, but then you're still waiting like 6 to 8 weeks for the bank to come to, I guess, they already know if they're going to approve you or not, right? But what takes so long? What takes so long for them to say, okay, here's your keys. You bought this house, you've paid the down payment, you have the money, let's have it, and here's your keys. How come that can't be done like buying a car? Even buying a car takes time. It takes a lot of paperwork. I don't like paperwork. Anyway, I was waiting on a certain process to happen in my life, and it was one that took time. It took 3.5 years from start to finish, but I got the result that I wanted. But I guarantee it's because I stood on this one promise, this one scripture, and I read it every single day. It's taped right here on my desk on a sticky note, and it's a pretty worn sticky note because I've rubbed it. I would show you, but I'm not going to flip the camera around. Anyway, that's not even the point of this video. This is why I prefer to do pre-made edited videos so I don't get off track. The reason I'm here today is I wanted to share that scripture, but I want to share a quote and then something that God's kind of pressing into me. And the quote is, when God calls you to a season of solitude, He is preparing to change your altitude. Have you ever been called in your life to a season of solitude where it seems like everyone that you had grown accustomed to in your life was ripped away, or you backed away from them? You've come to that point of solitude where you're alone. God calls you to that time to be alone so that you seek Him, that you come to that conclusion that your life is nothing without Him. And it's not because He's egotistical and wants to be controlling, but He loves you so much that He would love to see just an teensy win bit of that love back in return. It's kind of like your children. When you're raising your children, you love your children so much that when they show an ounce of gratitude, it just overwhelms you. It becomes very enjoyable and exciting, actually. But when God calls us to a season of solitude where we are alone and we're stuck dealing with our own stuff, our own emotions, and growing in Him and leaning on Him and learning to trust Him in every provision that He provides for us, that it was divinely appointed to us. And we know it is because everything He does with purpose and with intention. We don't necessarily always do things with intention in mind. We sometimes will do things off the fly. Why, I don't know. It's kind of unwise. But my whole point of this video is to encourage you that if you're in a season of solitude, God's pulled you away from the friends you used to hang out with. He's pulled you away from relationships that you were deeply involved in. He's pulled you away from your career, maybe. Maybe He's tucked you into a tiny little caveat just for Him. just for Him, because He wants your full devotion. He wants your time, your attention. He wants you to begin digging in the Scriptures and finding Him in the Scriptures. Because when we seek Him and we find Him, we rise, whether we know it or not, to a different altitude. He changes our level of living. Anytime He calls you to a season of solitude where He's pulling you away from people, situations, things, it's because He's wanting to elevate you. He's wanting to get you to go in, to dig deep and to find Him and to be elevated in Him in ways that only He can do, so that He gets that glorification that He deserves. Too many times we tell our friends, oh, I did that. I wrote that book. I didn't write anything. He wrote it through me. He gave me the wisdom. He gave me the knowledge and the creativity to get a book onto paper and to put it together and to put it into book format and to sell it. It's all Him, and none of it is me. It's the creativity He put in me. Yes, I did the work. I did the discipline. But I wouldn't have done it had I not had Him to lean on. I wouldn't have finished that book. I wouldn't have finished any of the books I've written. I wouldn't have sat down to make this video for you if it wasn't for His leading. And it's because I've been changed. My altitude of living is changing, and it is rising. And so because it's rising, my standard rises. And who I hang around with, their standard has to rise to meet me where I'm at. And eventually I'm going to meet people who are at a higher level than me, who encourage me to look up and to really dig deeper into my faith. Every single day I'm encouraged by someone on here on TikTok or on YouTube or on Facebook that mentor to me. They don't know they're mentoring to me. They just know that they posted something. And it could have been a random friend from high school posted something that touched my heart, that God used to speak to me. When God calls you to a season of solitude, He is preparing to change your altitude. So the next time you find yourself in that solitude state, stop worrying about how to get out of it. Stop looking for things to fill that solitude. Stop looking for things to take your attention, to take your devotion, and look to Him. Look to Him. Dig in the Word. If you find yourself alone and feeling lonely, go straight to Scripture. I guarantee if you train yourself to go straight to Scripture, you're going to find yourself at a higher altitude. You're going to find yourself at that next level of living that you desire to be at. I hope this encourages someone today. If it does, can you give it a little heart or a like? Maybe share it with a friend. And I'll see you guys in the next one.